Applying the conflict theory in the education system. The conflict theory of the education system is an important sociological concept because it explains how power and inequality are perpetuated in society. It examines how certain social classes or groups within society gain knowledge and capital at the expense of others, thus creating a hierarchical structure. This reveals how the structures that contribute to social inequality operate in educational institutions. Conflict theory helps to identify issues such as disparities in funding and pay grades, which affect school resources and teacher effectiveness, leading to an unequal learning experience between different demographic groups. At a higher level, this concept can even explain discrepancies in job opportunities after graduation for those with higher or lower levels of educational attainment. We must understand this concept if we are to combat systems that cause marginalization of vulnerable populations. This theory is linked to key sociological concepts such as structural functionalism, symbolic interactionism, cultural deviance, and gender stratification. Conflict theory of the education system can be used to understand the impacts of class on the education system, as it is an integral part of understanding inequalities in modern society. Conflict theory in education is an important resource for understanding the power dynamics at play inside classrooms. As a lens to view interpersonal relationships, it encourages educational professionals to consider the effects of social and economic inequality on learning. Informed with this approach, they can attend to educational inequities more effectively by providing relevant interventions based on understanding how systems reproduce power relationships. According to Belay and Sisay, conflict theory offers insight into the essential role of educational institutions in promoting equity and addressing issues of injustice impacting students' learning experiences. According to this theory, those with higher economic standing have greater access to higher quality learning environments, resources, and even teachers than those in lower socioeconomic groups. This results in increased educational gaps between students from different socioeconomic backgrounds, thus creating an uneven playing field. It is important to recognize the effects of this inequality on young people today, as children are the future leaders. All must receive an equal opportunity for a quality education. In summary, to understand the way that education is structured in modern society, it is essential to apply the concept of conflict theory. This theory proposes that social power and its implications for access to educational opportunities self-perpetuate existing societal inequalities propagated by economic and political forces. Through discourse about competition between different classes, races, and genders, the conflict theory of education emphasizes how these disparities define an educational system based on elitism rather than equality. This approach states that the educational system reinforces existing social hierarchies and classes and is used to benefit those already in positions of privilege and power. Conflict theorists focus on how those who have a higher social status are favored by curriculum content and teacher bias, while those without privilege are disadvantaged. These theorists often argue that educational reform cannot occur without larger macrostructural shifts, such as equal economic distributions and access to resources, to help ameliorate existing inequalities present within educational opportunity. As illustrated, conflict theory holds that systems of power, namely capital and status-based inequality, hinder chances at education advancement among members of society.